So for our speaker, she is an associate professor of the University of the Philippines Asian Institute of Tourism and a trainer for Inquirer Academy. She has degrees on BS Tourism cum laude, Master of Arts in Communication Research, and a Doctor of Philosophy in Communication, all from the University of the Philippines, Diliman. Prior to teaching, she spent 8 years in the hotel industry and ended her industry experience as Director of Sales of the Sulu Hotel. She has authored textbooks on tourism marketing, tourism promotion services, and Philippine tourism, culture, and geography that are used widely in tourism and HRIM schools nationwide. So some of you might know her from these books. She is a recipient of the Gawad AIT Natatanging Guro Award for Excellence in Teaching and various Students' Choice Award. She is also a tourism consultant and market specialist of TESA NEDA EU for various tourism-related plans. She is a resource speaker of the Department of Tourism, Tourism Promotions Board, UNFPA, and Firebrand Asia. She has worked with LGUs in designing their marketing strategies for the past 10 years. She believes in the benefits of managing your money and increasing your value early on in life to reap the benefits of passive income by midlife. So with that resume, I am sure everyone would be all ears for our session today. This is a master course on personal finance. So without further ado, let us all welcome Dr. Maricel Gatchalian-Badilla.
Thank you very much, Wilfred, for such a gracious introduction. Master course, bigla akong na-pressure doon. Hello, everyone. I could see a lot of people checking in, logging in there from where they are, from Pangasinan, Camarines Sur, University of Santo Tomas, University of Makati, ayan, Baguio, and so many more. UNC, Camarines Sur. May bahay po kami sa Bicol, taga Bicol po ang aking asawa, kaya ako Badilla. Yan, kapitbahay namin ng UNC sa Bayawa Street. Ayan, so Centro Escolar, Makati. So I'm at home. I'm so used to speaking to my students, no? Graduate students as well. If we have some who are here, I'm so excited to, sayang hindi to face-to-face, but well, now we can just make do with what technology has offered us. Okay, so natutuwa ako, nag-iingay yung mga taga-UNC, andyan sila sa chat room. So again, our topic today is about financial management, and totoo yung sinabi ni Wilfred, I believe that you have to manage your money early on, okay? Not when you're 50. It has to start when you're 16 or when you're 18, not when you're older. You need to be able to manage your allowance even before you get your first salary. Okay, so allow me to share my screen now. Okay. Meron akong magic na gagawin sa ating screen. Just indulge me for a bit. It will take a bit of time than the usual screen sharing. Yan, there's me inside my screen. So let's make me bigger. Okay. Yan. So my first question to you. Okay. Who among you wants to be debt-free? Wala nang utang. Okay? Walang utang sa classmate. Walang utang sa mga kapatid. Okay? Sige nga. Me, ayun. Thank you very much. Lahat tayo, we want to be debt-free. Okay. Who wants to have passive income? Ang passive income is earning money while you sleep. Sino yung gusto habang natutulog o habang nanonood ng Netflix ay kumikita ng pera? Okay. Yan. So, everybody who wants to be debt-free and who wants to earn passive income, this talk is for you. Okay. So, today, I will share with you 4 key principles of managing your finances. Okay. I started my money management journey early on in my life. In elementary, my family had a business. No, my dad was a chemist, so we had this repacking of alcohol, muriatic acid, acetone, all these things. They would repack it, rebottle it in small bottles, and then we would put labels on it. So my dad will pay us for each box that we label. Okay. And every time they will count the number of boxes we finish, kaming magkakapatid, and we would be paid for it. And we can spend the money wherever we want it. We want to buy a toy, etc. But part of the money has to be given to my lola. My lola was getting old, and she needs money. So my parents instilled in us that we need to share our finances. It's not just ours. And I'm happy that in the poll, Wilfred announced that almost 75% of you would want to spend it with family. I'm sure magpapalibre or nagpalibre na yung inyong mga magulang sa inyo para naman magtawag natin mag-return on investment sila sa inyo. So I'm happy that you're willing to share. And that is also the beauty of managing our money. We would have enough for everything, for what we need, and also to share with others. On my first year of working, I already bought myself a second-hand car. I didn't buy a brand new car because one, I cannot afford it. And second, it depreciates the moment it leaves the casa. Okay, so we will have to learn to buy things that appreciate, to invest on things that appreciate rather than buying those flashy things that depreciate the moment you hold it. Okay? And then I was also able to buy a lot in Pansol. At ang sweldo ko noon, mga kapatid, was 3,000 pesos. Okay? 3,000 pesos. 3,106 pesos monthly. Okay. I'm sure wala na sa inyong papayag ng ganong salary. But of course, there's also depreciation. But ang counterpart nun siguro sa panahon ngayon would be about 15,000. Okay. It was enough for a single person to live by, but I was taught early on about saving and about investing. So that's what I'm gonna share with you. I'm not a financial analyst. Kung pansin nyo, hindi ako galing sa mga insurance companies, di ba, yung mga financial advisors who will tell you where to invest your money. And of course, they will have products that they will offer you. I'm not that. Okay? I am similar to you. When I started, I had my dreams. I had everything I wanted. I listed them down. I had my goals. And I was raring to go into the world. Nandun kayo sa stage na yun ngayon. And I'd like to share with you ideas on how managing your money 20, 30, 40 years from now, it will still yield you income. Hindi yung dumaan lang sa kamay nyo yung sweldo nyo. Ayaw natin yon. Okay? Gusto natin, merong pagpupuntahan yung pera natin. And I'd like to warn you against several misconceptions that we have about handling our money. Okay? YOLO, I'm sure you know this. Can you put on the chat box what this means? Bibigyan natin ng virtual clap. Yan, you only live once. Thank you very much for your participation. Ganyan yung kabataan ngayon eh. 'Di ba? Minsan lang tayo mabubuhay. Ubusin na natin yung perang yan. YOLO, baka bukas may COVID na tayo. Patay na tayo at a certain point. Pardon my words. Okay, but that's how the youth of today think. Generations past, okay, the baby boomers, I'm a generation Xer, so yung generation namin, kailangan magtipid ka. Okay? Kasi hindi palaging meron. Okay? But this generation has that mentality. You only live once. Yes, I agree. You only live once. But you don't live for the day. Okay? You live, okay, planning the next what? If you're 18, 20 years old now, you're planning for the next 50 years of your life. Not just today. Okay? Some of us also have the mentality, hindi, mag-aanak na lang ako ng marami so that they can take care of me when I'm old. Okay? Yes, I took care of my parents when they were sick, when they were old, but I did not have to raise the money because they laid out everything. In fact, up to now, both my parents have passed on, but they have still blessed us with rental properties. Okay? Na napapakinabangan pa namin. Okay, so my parents have kept on giving even way past the time that they were alive. Okay. But never ever think also na mayaman naman sila mami. So they'll take care of me. Okay? Yung iintayin ko na lang yung mana ko sa kanila. Okay? So that's another misconception. And last is yung, especially this generation, they're so entitled. Okay, that's what I call my students minsan pag wino-warn ko sila, oh yeah, masyado na yung inyong sense of entitlement. Okay, you want things fast. You want the quick buck. 'Di ba? Instant lahat, instant mommy, microwave, internet. Pag mabagal ang internet, nafu-frustrate tayo. Okay? But these are things that we need we need to work at. Kasi all things daw that life will be easy and if we keep on doing the hard things now so that later on it will become easy. Pag pa-easy-easy tayo ngayon, in the future, life will be hard. Okay? So I hope you're getting my point. Okay. So before I go to the 4 principles that I want to share with you, I'd like to share this saying from success.com. You must gain control over your money or the lack of it will forever control you. Okay. No one wanted this pandemic to happen. Okay. I'm sure some of you would want to be with your friends, would want to graduate in style, right? 'Di ba yung bamarcha ka tapos dyan. Wala eh. That's absent now. Okay. And a lot of other things have become out of our control. Okay. But money is something we can control. Some say they can't control it, but I would like to disagree because you can control where you spend your money, okay, and how you spend it. Let me share with you some of my learned tips, okay? This is something that I've used throughout the years, okay? Now, I'm 50, okay? Now that I'm 50, my husband and I, we have several rental properties that yield passive income for us. I have 3 books, getting into 4, that I've written in 2015, okay, that continue to yield royalties for me. Okay. That is because I did the hard work 5 years ago. Okay. It's like farming. You plant seeds 10 years back and it will grow into trees with fruits 10 years after. Nothing is instant. Okay. So let me share with you the first tip. Oh wait, sorry, there's another slide on having the richest people in the world. Okay, if you notice in this list of richest people, there is Mark Zuckerberg, who is only 36 years old, right? And his net worth is 113 billion lang naman, 'di ba? And he's still young. Okay, i-minus niyo yung age niyo. How long do you think you would yield your first million or your first billion kahit in pesos, 'di ba? So, if they can do it, so can you. So can we. Kasama ko. Okay? So, here are my 4 principles, my 4 key principles. Are you ready? I hope you are. Okay, so here's my first principle. You need to spend less than you earn. 'Di ba? Automatic 'yun. Okay. When you earn, let's say, para madali lang sa math, when you say you earn 20,000 pesos, okay, don't spend 25,000 pesos. Anyway, may credit card ka naman eh. Yung 5,000 next month mo pa naman babayaran. Pero mapapatungan na naman yon. Okay? So what I did early on, especially when I got married, okay, what we did was we kept track of where our money went. Okay? For a whole month, I had this notebook that I put all my expenses in. Ultimo yung jeep, okay, yung bayad sa jeep, yung binigay mong tip, o kaya yung keep the change na nung kumain ka sa Jollibee, keep the change, ganyan. Okay, so you keep track of where your money goes. And then total that, also total all your income areas. Okay, kung kung madiskarte ka, you have your main source of income. And nowadays, a lot of kids, a lot of young people go into a second, tawag natin ngayon, hindi na sideline eh. Okay, naging sideline, naging racket. Ang tawag nila ngayon ay side hustle. Okay, you have this side hustle where you earn something. It can be something that you do online, some services that you do. Okay, so you put all your income areas on one side and all your expenses on the other. Now, at the end of the month, you have to total it. Okay, so that you know where your money goes. You'd see whether excess ba yung expenses mo sa income mo. Okay? Sino kaya sa inyo dito, ang pag kinompute yun ay may sobra. Hooray! Okay? Very tough nowadays to have excess. Ayan, negative pa. Correct. Sometimes, yan, tinatawanan nyo ako, no? Na Sino kaya ang may sobra? Okay. Sabi nila, there's a unique 5% of people who have excess. Okay? From what they earn. Okay. So ngayon kung negative siya, all you need to do is go back to that list of expenses and check which ones are needs versus wants. Okay? So tanggalin lahat ng wants. Anong mga wants na madalas meron dyan? Kain sa labas, pag-grab tayo, order tayo. Okay? Nung hindi pa pandemic, ang sarap mag-taxi at ang sarap mag-grab. Wag masyadong cheap mag-jeep. Okay? Pero pag kinompute mo pala, half of your salary goes to taxi and grab. Okay? Si Food Panda, 'di ba? Ang sarap-sarap. Na may kinikrave ka, text lang, nandyan na, dadating na sa'yo. So you realize, after a while, na teka, okay, but masarap nga siya, but I'm spending more than I'm earning. Okay? So you're actually spending beyond your means, and this is not good. Okay? So you have to track which ones are wants, which you can get out of, let go, and focus on your needs. Okay? Another way is for you to take them out talaga, magtipid. Yun ang una. Or possibly another way is find a way to earn more money. Okay? So dalawa yan. You attack bakit siya negative? You attack your expenses, pero kung sabihin nyo, lahat talaga, tipid na yon. Okay? So you also look at your income. How can you earn more? Okay? Find out ways by which you can earn more. Which will lead me, to telling you that it's 'di ba kanina sabi nyo negative. Okay. So income minus expense equals savings. Yan yung madalas natin ginagawa. May sweldo tayo, tas gastos. Pag may natira, yun ang isi-save natin. No. Okay? That's not how it happens. Okay? That's letting your money manage you. But if you want yourself, if you want you to be able to manage your money, it has to be income minus savings equals expense. Okay? You set a specific amount you want to save, okay, monthly. Okay? You can start with 10%. Okay? 10% of your income you save. Okay? If you can save more, better. If effort na yung 10%, just go for the 10%. That's what we call pay yourself forward. Okay? You pay yourself forward by saving, not spending the money that you earn today, okay, but keeping it and making it yield you more income in the future. Okay, so that goes for savings and investment. Initially, it would be good to have a separate savings account on top of your payroll account. Kasi pag nasa payroll account mo, madali mo yung i-withdraw eh. So what I did before was I had a payroll account that was an ATM, and I had a savings account that was passbook. Okay? Para pipila pa ako sa bangko, yung mahihirapan akong alisin siya. Madali siyang pasukan, pero mahirap siyang ma-withdrawhan. Okay? So that's first, you have to have savings. And then, you have to look at investment possibilities. Okay? Look at things as an investment if it appreciates over time. Okay? Ang cellphone, hindi siya investment. Total, makaka-work naman ako eh. 'Di ba? Mas marami akong magagawa, makapag-edit, etc. If that's your intention, good. Fine. You can buy a higher model. Okay? But if it is just to look good, then I'm sorry. Just use the money, save it, and invest it for something. Okay, that appreciates. In 20 minutes I cannot share that with you. So na lang, later on you can research on what investment possibilities are there. But the good thing, my dear younger ladies and gentlemen and friends, okay, time is working for you. Okay, because you're young. You know, the investments I made when I was 25 or 30 years old, they've already doubled or tripled in value because I invested young. If I invest now, okay, baka hindi ko na siya ma-enjoy kasi I'm getting old. Okay? So the once I invested early on, yung 50,000 na ininvest ko in 2007 is now worth 130,000. So I just kept it there. Iwan lang yan. Okay? Kasi hindi ko pa naman kailangan eh. So when I need it, it has already appreciated. Okay? I think that was a mutual fund that I invested in one of the insurance companies. Hindi ako mag-endorse ng insurance company. But remember, dapat stable siya. Okay? You also borrow only things for things that appreciate. Okay? So kung also time is working for you, when you borrow through the different government agencies, Pag-ibig, SSS, etc. For land, you can borrow long. Okay? You can borrow up to 25 years. And hulog ka lang ng hulog, unti-unti. Hanggang sa portion na, after 5 years, hindi mo na mararamdaman yung hulog na yun eh. Kasi tumataas na rin yung sweldo mo. Okay? And nagkakaroon ka ng property. And most millennials, most zennials, that's one thing that they don't like, investing in property kasi it's permanent. Okay? But I still encourage you, you don't need to live in it, okay? But it becomes an investment that you can resell at a certain point. Okay. You also, yung third principle that I want to share with you, karugtong siya nung first principle, di ba? When we talk about increasing your value, you're also increasing your income. Okay? You have to learn new skills. I'm happy that a portion of you want to spend your income into training and self-development. Okay? You learn new skills. But in learning those new skills, you find a niche. Meaning, find something na hindi kayang gawin ng ibang tao, na ikaw lang. Okay? Or konti lang kayo na kayang gawin yon, because that's more valuable. Okay? So, learn these new skills because later on, okay, you will no longer be paid per hour. Okay? But you will be paid for the value that they receive. Okay? Kasi nga hindi nila kayang gawin yung ginagawa mo eh. So, they will pay you more. Not because sandali lang niya gagawin yan eh. 30 minutes lang, ba't ang mahal-mahal? Okay, remember doctors, right? Doctors have trained so hard, medical doctors, tapos babayaran natin sila, di ba? Pag nagpa-konsulta tayo, 5 minutes, minsan 800 pesos, 1,000 pesos. Why? Because they're not paid per hour. They're paid for the value. Sige nga, gamutin mo nga yung sarili mo. Di ba? So ako, I also studied, no? After finishing my PhD, I realized there's so much opportunities for me after finishing my PhD. And one time I received a contract from one consultancy firm. And I realized, hey, this is now my value. And the contract was worth 7 digits. Okay? Because I increased my value. I studied for 10,000 hours. And that's how you get to a PhD, eh? 10,000 hours. Perfecting an expertise. Okay? And that's how you also create passive income. Write books, buy properties, and then later on have them rented out. Okay? So marami passive income. See YouTube. I think that's one of the things that the young people nowadays want to get into. You can create passive income there too. But remember, it's also a crowded marketplace. So you have to know how you will be able to stand out. Okay? And my last principle is give generously. Okay? My icon here is an open palm. Okay? In the same way that you cannot give with a closed palm, you cannot also receive with it closed. Okay? So in order to receive, you have to have it open. You have to keep it open so that you can give a portion of it away. Okay? That portion, I leave it up to you what percentage, as long as it comes from the heart. Okay, when you give generously, you know that's the secret to prosperity. I'm part of a Catholic community where I am religiously, faithfully giving a tithe, okay, a percentage of my income to support community. Okay, and the Lord has never outdone me in generosity. Iniisip ko pa lang na dadagdagan ko yung bigay ko, dumadami na yung projects na dumadating sa akin. And that is one key, okay, to prosperity. Hindi dapat tayo mahigpit sa pera. The more na mahigpit tayo sa paglabas ng pera, the more na mahihirapan din dumating sa atin yung pera. Okay. Because God promises that to whom much is given, much is expected in return. Okay. So here are some books that I recommend you to read. Okay, si Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. You also have Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by Harvey Eker. And I just saw this in the internet, but I haven't read it. It's a series of the millennial. So baka bagay sa inyo yan. I've not been able to read it, but it's a 3-part series. So I'm sure you would get a lot of help from these books. And I just followed si Rich Dad Poor Dad. I just followed his principles in the book, okay, to get out of the rat race. Okay, now I choose my projects. Now I choose whom I want to work for and whom I want to work with, because I can. And it took me 30 years to get here. And I'm sure if you have a good start, you will get here sooner. So thank you very much. I think there are a few questions that we're ready to entertain.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Maricel. How I wish I had the same opportunity as all of the audience had today in listening to someone of course your stature to talk about personal finance. So while I was actually manning the chat room, I was also jotting down notes for for my personal growth as well. Yeah, but maybe before we go on with the Q&A, we are lucky because the Philippine Daily Inquirer is offering a free 30-day trial of its digital edition. So if I can just show that as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to take out.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, so the Philippine Daily Inquirer is offering a free 30-day free trial of its digital edition, Inquirer Plus. So to know more on how to take advantage of this exclusive offer and the Inquirer Plus subscription, please visit shop.inquirer.com.ph. All right. Wait, so I'll flash it again for a couple more seconds. I also typed in the chat the link that you can use to check on this offer by the Philippine Daily Inquirer. All right. So maybe now we can proceed with the question and answers. Maybe we can entertain around 3.
Wilfred, for those that I will not be able to answer, I'm willing to answer them separately, and they can just check on my Facebook page for the answers. Maricel Gatchalian-Badilla. And then I see there's a lot of questions, and I'm very happy that the young nowadays would want to manage their finances early on. It's really a matter of managing it early on, kasi pagka napunta ka na sa debt, no, yung nangutang ka na, it's harder to get up. It's easier to start from zero than from negative. Sige, sorry, go ahead, Wilbur.
Wow, ang swerte naman ng audience natin ngayon. Pwede pa kayong message sa Facebook. Right. So, yeah. One question, for someone who would relocate to another location for their job, what would be your advice in handling their finances, most especially for those first few months? Because I believe we have viewers from all the way to Mindanao, Visayas, from the provinces. So, yeah, what would be your advice to them?
I have a question to clarify. They're relocating because there are better opportunities, do you think, Wilfred?
Yes, I assume it is because the company that they are targeting or that they were hired in are based in Manila.
Okay. So there would be startup expenses like renting, travel. Okay. So you have to compute. Okay. Magaling akong mag pros and cons. So you have to look at, come up with an Excel form. Okay. Excel sheet yan. All the income opportunities of doing that versus staying where you are. Because sometimes when we compute, we realize, okay, it's 10,000 more yung kikitain ko if I stay in Manila compared to if I'm in the province. But if you compute rent, okay, you compute the higher cost of living if you're in Manila or in a city, for that matter, like those in the provinces na pupunta doon sa main city, okay, there are additional expenses. So at the end of the day, baka you realize wala ka ring masisave, tapos you're away from family. Okay? For those who want to go abroad, okay, another issue kasi yung mag-OFW ka, so aalis ka ng family, do it while you're single. Okay? I suggest that if you want to work abroad, you do it while you're single, and don't think of it as something permanent. Okay? It has to be temporary, that you'll be able to save up, okay, and come back to the Philippines, invest in the Philippines. Syempre, taga-UP ako, kailangan makabayan. Invest in the Philippines. Okay? But if you can't, if you get married there, that's fine. You want to migrate, that's also fine. Whether you're here or abroad, whether you are in a first world country and you're earning a lot, it's not what you earn. It's how you use it, how you spend it that matters. Okay? So kahit 1 million a month pa ang kita mo, kung ang standard of living mo naman ay sumasabay, you'll always end up with a negative each month. Okay? And I've seen that happen. Yung mga napopromote, tumataas ang sweldo, bumibili agad ng bagong kotse. So yung kinita nila napunta sa amortization ng kotse. 'Di ba? So na-stress. So dahil tumaas yung standard of living nila, kasi nga tumaas yung sweldo. Yan yung something that I also remember early on. Kahit may increase ako in my salary, I still keep the same standard of living. And then keep yung whatever difference that I had in my salary, I put in investments.
All right. I think
I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. In the interest of time, I apologize to everyone. Maybe we can just have one last question. I think this is a very good one. What advice can you give in influencing your family in financial literacy, sir?
It has to start from you. Okay? It has, kasi syempre your parents have their own way of managing their finances. And sometimes you may not agree with how they handle their finances. So you have to start doing it yourself and then showing them an example of how you do it. I remember ako din kasi we had conflicts ng husband ko on how we manage our finances. He is coming from a family of 8. Okay, 8 children sila. Kami ay a family of 4. My parents were businessmen. His parents were government employees. So we were poles apart as far as how to manage our finances when we got married. And then we would get into conflict. So, and then later on, he trusted me into managing it. Mga 2 years into the marriage, his family got parang there was a need for some financial support, and we willingly gave. Okay, and then he realized every time we needed something, there was money. And so now, wala na, no questions asked. He would agree with the way that I managed our finances, and he's very happy with it. No, in fact, even in this pandemic, that there were uncertainties on our business, kailan ba may client, kailan wala. We've had enough. And when I computed, actually, I assured him, when I computed, medyo mahaba yung PC. Yung emergency fund namin would be enough to cover for the pandemic kahit wala kaming clients. And I think that's something that, I agreed to give this talk because I also want a lot more young people to know how to manage it early on. Now, if your family still doesn't agree with how you manage your finances, it's up to them, diba? It's their loss. It's not yours. You really just want to influence them to your kind of thinking.
All right. So with that, thank you again, Dr. Maricel, for imparting your knowledge to our young professionals and graduating students.